The following is a Papi Chulo Radio original program. The views and opinions expressed in the commentaries and or interviews in the following program are solely of the individuals and are not the views of Papi Chulo Radio, its parent, affiliate, or subsidiary companies.
Welcome to Are You Afraid COVEN, the unofficial American Horror Story COVEN internet radio show exclusively on Papi Chulo Radio. Today is Wednesday, November 6th, 2013, and I'm your host, Papi Chulo. Here on Are You Afraid COVEN, we're going to recap, review, and dissect the latest episode of the hit FX series. We're going to deliver directly to you the biggest news regarding American Horror Story COVEN. So you're going to get all of the casting scoops, episode titles, ratings reports, and spoilers during the latter half of the show. But don't worry, we're going to warn you with a spoiler alert. So please allow me to introduce to you my creepy and kooky co-host. First up, we have our own version of Queenie. She's our human voodoo doll. She goes by the name Cat's Meow.
You ain't shit.
Now, last week you complained because I didn't call you Queenie.
Well, I'm just saying, though, like, dang, you just gave me, like, especially after we just talked about her kneading bread dough, you can call me Queenie. I fucking hate you so much.
Yes. And next up, we have a gentleman who, actually, just before the show, he reattached his tongue into his mouth. We have Deadly.
Yeah, call me Spalding. Boo!
I don't know when that was.
Well, okay.
Whatever, Deadly. That was everything.
Yes. And last but not least, we do not have Dario with us tonight. She's out with fearful pranks and suing and all that stuff, raising up the dead, licking chili peppers, flicking her tongue on it, and all that stuff. You know, playing with the mason jars of baby gravy. So tonight, filling in her slot, joining us for his debut here, joining the Coven for the first time, we have American Horror Story Coven fan. This is actually the first installment of American Horror Story that he's ever seen, and he loves it. It's Marshall Evans.
Hey guys, how are you? I'm glad to be here, and I can't wait to talk about the show.
Ooh.
Okay.
Before we get into the show, we've spoken about this in other broadcasts that Marshall is on, so I'm sure he won't mind bringing it up here. But Marshall Evans actually has a close connection to American Horror Story Coven.
Oh, God. I have to say? I thought you were going to say.
No, I'd rather you say it, because I'd rather they go, ooh.
Well, I did Broadway and TV and film for almost a decade, and my acting coach for school was actually Kathy Bates. So,
Wow.
So did she kind of hobble people?
No, thank God. No, at our school it was kind of like, you know, you audition first to get into the school, and then once you get into the school, you audition again, and they kind of put you on different levels. And I went to a musical theater school, actually, but one of the biggest components of that was to be able to do television, film, and Broadway acting without music.
Very cool. Very cool.
Okay.
Yeah, top level. They call it level. There were level A, level B, level C. A's were supposed to be kind of people that they quote unquote felt were extremely talented or advanced skills or have been taught things, and they were trying to take it to another level. It was really kind of brand new. It was a natural, and I was the only boy selected for top levels, and one of the gifts of that was a professional actor or actress. So my first year, I had Tyne Daly, who was amazing.
Shout out to I don't know if she
Yeah.
was Cagney or Lacey, but shout out to her.
She's an amazing, amazing, amazing woman, but she was probably she's probably the hardest teacher I'd ever had in my life to please. I had to say my name 5 days in a row because I didn't say it right.
Mm.
I don't see anything else just to say my name. I had Kathy Bates, and she was probably the most inspirational, but she pushed the hardest. She's probably one of the most difficult teachers that I had, been, not in the fact that she was mean or made you do anything repetitive, but she kind of took you to darker places in your life and pulled out emotions that a lot of people are not willing to let go of and or want to show. But because of that, hey, before I even finished school, I had already booked my first Broadway show. So I'm very thankful to her. So.
Well, we got to start with us. Good work, Poppy.
Exactly. And we're closer to Kathy Bates than we've ever been in our lives.
6 degrees? Is it 6 degrees? Less than 6 degrees, I think now.
Yes.
Yeah. But she is very, 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 very talented.
And a good cook.
Yeah, actually, she makes the best cornbread muffins. I don't know what she does, but they're like hypnotic. Like you're like, cornbread muffins?
She
These ain't
hobbles the
Jiffy.
corn.
You're like, this ain't Jiffy.
And pot pie, too. We saw her making pot pie.
Yeah, so she's...
And she
We
can
didn't
make
get
a
a chance
mean
to
peach
see-
cobbler.
We didn't see the
Yes.
peach cobbler yet.
Oh, well, I think she can make a good peach cobbler. And she knows how to
But
hand out
obviously-
trick-or-treat candy.
Oh,
Here you
right.
go, you little bag of children.
Did you see her take a candy and eat it?
Yes, I did, because I
I
would have
did
done
too.
the same thing.
She's such a great actress because her whole thing is about what's reality. Like it's like everything to her is like, is that real? If that's not real, then don't do it. It's nothing's ever fake. I mean, I remember when she was teaching us, she was actually doing the movie Dolores Claiborne, and I remember being able to go to the set with her on a field trip, and she literally went into this house and walked around this house for like 2 hours and opening cabinets and doing the same thing, opening cabinets, opening jars, and we were like, she's losing her mind. That was kind of our joke, like, she's losing her mind. And then when it got time to actually record, she looked like she had been in this house and lived in this house for years. She knew where everything was. She didn't have to look. She didn't have to do anything. She knew the house. And it was like the most inspirational thing that any actor can see, someone who's that damn good at their craft.
That's deep. Yeah.
So,
Wow, that's what's up. Well, we're not going to open any drawers here tonight, but I
No.
suggest everyone get into their best Halloween costumes, maybe don a witch's hat, because fearful pranks are going to ensue as we jump into episode 304, which is actually called Fearful Pranks Ensue, and it aired on October 30th, 2013. We're going to start off here, as we usually do, by reading the press release for the episode, which it's a short press release. Fiona's choices rattle a decades-long truce between the Salem witches and Marie Laveau. The Council of Witchcraft pays a surprise visit to the Academy with disturbing allegations. So let's get everyone's initial response to the episode without getting too deep into the episode, because we're going to be talking about everything that happened, because so much happened. So I'm going to start it off because I usually go last. I thought it was a pretty entertaining episode. I felt that there was so much going on. I was almost hoping that it was one of those extended episodes, because there was just too much going on. We had a lot of plot development, a lot of character development, and I really enjoy the Halloween episodes on American Horror Story. Every season they have one. Sometimes it's a two-parter. This season it's a two-parter, so I was looking forward to it, and it definitely lived up to the hype. What did everyone else think? We'll start off with our special guest co-host, Marshall.
I actually really got lost. That's it. I'm so lost right now.
We'll find you.
I'm so lost because, and but I will say I don't mind being lost. But if you ask me any questions except for like what was on the show and like just talk about that, I'm lost from the very beginning. So right now, I don't know what happened. All I saw was a head in a box, people screaming in a bed that looked like they're going to have children. People's faces melting off. I don't know what the heck is.
Well, don't worry. We'll have
Give me later.
Delphine fix you some peach cobbler as we sort this out for you. So, Cat's Meow, what did you think of the episode?
It was, I don't know. I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot better than the last episode. I felt like, thank you, Jesus. I really didn't have to like do anything drastic to my TV or like wash it down with bleach or whatever, because it wasn't as shocking as last week's episode. But I liked it. It was definitely entertaining.
So you were disappointed there wasn't any incest and bestiality this week?
Please. I made a promise to myself of that anything else like that happened on TV on this episode, I was going to turn it off, because that's just too much to deal with. That's entirely way too much shock to deal with, just back to back to back. So, but whatever.
What about you, Diddley?
Well, I felt like it was clearing things up for me a little bit. I mean, I love the whole council thing. Love those three. Love the whole Spalding backstory. So things are kind of clearing up for me. I mean, the whole tea parties, zombies. We even had zombies. It was a Walking Dead meets American Horror Story. Yeah, it was the best episode yet for me.
Fantastic. Well, let's jump into the episode. And this is one of those episodes where it's kind of difficult to break up the storylines because a lot of the characters sort of intertwined with each other in different ways. But I'm going to try to break it down per storyline, even though some of the storylines were kind of shorter than they usually are. So we'll start off with Spalding. And the episode started off with a bit of a flashback to the end of last week's episode, where we have Spalding in his room with a whole bunch of human-like dolls, and he's ready for tea, because I guess that's what you do when you don't have a tongue. And he hears all this commotion coming from downstairs, so he goes down, and then he sees what Fiona did. She slices Madison's throat, and she's dead on the ground, and he starts picking everything up. Later on, we see that he is once again setting up for tea. He's got all the dolls around him. He's got his teapot and teacups and all that stuff. Then this time around, he decides to don, I don't know if it was a muumuu, I don't know if it was a kimono, I don't know if it was just a nightdress, but he enjoys a little cross-dressing or role-playing, whatever he's doing. And he's not only got a dress for himself, but he's a kind host, and he has a dress for the body of Madison. So I don't know what he's going to do with Madison, but I am perplexed and intrigued. So what did everyone think of Spalding in the present day? We'll start off with Cat's Meow.
See, damn it, I knew you was going to ask me. I don't, to be honest with you, okay, I liked his backstory. I liked the fact that they really showed, like, hey, this is why he's still around. This is why, you know, he's been doing all this stuff and he hasn't said anything. As far as the whole Madison thing, I saw it coming. And I don't know. Stuff like that makes me uncomfortable. So this is definitely something that was hard for me to kind of watch. And I'm not really looking forward to seeing what else does he have planned for her body. But something ain't right. I'm just going to make sure I'm not going to trust another grown man that has tea time. So, period. Ever. If any male tells me that they have tea time, I can't fuck with you. So, period.
Oh, God. Well, I have to agree. I'm sorry. If any male tells me, I mean, I like me some green tea, but you know, if you come in with a muumuu, we have a problem. We can't kick it like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You are too much.
But I will tell you, once again, that'll be my word for the night. I'm one of those people, when I watch a show, I really am so into storyline and I want to know what's going on, and I get aggravated really quickly. But for this show last night, literally my keyword phrase for the whole night was "What the hell?" So as soon as I see, when I saw the dolls, I was like, okay, he's special. And that's okay, because there's a whole lot of people on this show that are special. So that didn't disturb me. But seeing the dead body, and then he's having tea with the dead body, and then he had makeup to her, didn't he? He put makeup on her and did her hair.
I think he had makeup as well.
Girl.
That's not special. That's not no special shit right there. That's some crazy shit.
Well, what are you supposed to do when you don't have a tongue?
Well, I think when you don't
not
have
carrying around makeup and put it on corpses, like
exactly,
that's
really, seriously, that's some crazy madness, and that was just, and I'm confused because I don't understand why he has to have the body. There's too many other crazy people in the show, so I don't understand why everybody has to be crazy. Because at this point, everybody on this fucking show is crazy. Every single person on this fucking show is crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, I agree with you. I didn't like the fact that they made him into the creepy dude that is gonna be having, who knows, some type of relationship with this dead body of this young girl. I think that's too many people are crazy in this TV show.
Yeah, I mean, everybody.
She's above age, though.
I'm just saying. Well, okay, fine. But there's too many, like, right now. There's, like he said, there's too many fucking crazy people. There's too many people with so many fucked up stories. It's hard to kind of focus on the TV show itself because you're like,
yeah. Every TV show that I've ever known had at least one straight man. Like, and then at this point, the girl that I thought was straight, was the straight man of the show. She crazy as hell too. So it's like, what the hell? Like, everybody is crazy. So and I read witch books all the time. I do. I just think that they're very interesting and fascinating. Not that I want to be a witch. Not that I want to be around those crazy motherfuckers. I'm just saying I like the books. I don't need.
Well, I think he's just misunderstood. I found the little tea party. I got me more endeared to Spalding.
Mm-hmm. So you would have had one of them.
I knew you were special. I knew it.
Well, he does have a name, Deadly.
Deadly, exactly. I knew you were special.
So Deadly.
And okay, I've not had a tea party since I'm a grown man. But my Aunt Joetta used to always have tea parties when I was a kid, and so I get the whole tea party appeal.
So you would RSVP.
Check the closet. Check the closet. I've been looking for my sister for 2 days. No, okay. Oh Lord.
Okay, so we know that Deadly would RSVP to Spalding's parties. So let's move into the other really short storyline for the episode, which was Zoe and Frank and Kyle. We reunite with them still at his old house in the 9th Ward. He's banging his bloodied face against the tub in the bathroom, and in comes Zoe being Zoe, and she's like, Kyle, and then he finally sort of says another word, Kyle, and then he says, no Kyle, and I guess she thinks that he must be hungry. I don't know how she got that idea, but she decides to make him some food. She's sort of whipping up a tuna salad, and she notices rat poison. So, we basically can put 2 and 2 together. She puts the rat poison inside of the tuna salad because that was the extra ingredient to give it that little kick. And when she goes into the bathroom, he's gone. So she, searches the house, she goes out the door, and she realizes that it's Halloween, and apparently in New Orleans, you can start trick-or-treating in the middle of the afternoon because everyone's dressed up. And then in a nice wink to season 1, we saw a car drive by, and it's a man was in the car that had the same sort of skeleton makeup that Evan Peters' character wore in season 1.
I saw that. Mm-hmm.
So that was a nice little wink.
Okay, hold on. I just have to acknowledge the fact that you called him Franken Kyle.
Well, yeah, because he's kind of like Frankenstein.
I'm sorry, I was.
Marshall is everything. He is too much.
He really is.
That's just too much. Where have you been all my life?
Radio All-Star.
I'm still laughing. He said Franken Kyle. Okay, I'm good.
Yes. So, not much happened with the storyline, but what did everyone think of it, and what do you think is going to come from this? Because now we have Frank and Kyle roaming the streets. It is Halloween, so, I mean, not that many people are probably going to look twice at a teen-looking kid, with what could be, fake blood on his face, or, you know what I'm saying? He looks like, he'll fit in during the day, that day. So what did everyone think of this very brief storyline?
Nope. You already know. You already know how I feel about Zoe and her constantly watery ass eyes.
I'm over this. I'm over this whole storyline. I'm with you.
Exactly. Thank you.
It shouldn't even be on the show because it's so ridiculous.
To me, it's really boring. And the fact that she, bitch, you created this monster.
Stevie Nicks in the wood?
No, she decided to take Kyle back to his mama's house, knowing damn well, bitch, he's dead. If he was in a million pieces and all of a sudden he's resurrected, how do you think that was going to sit? Okay, something wasn't right. You stupid for even doing that in the first place. And then now you want to poison him and get rid of him? Bitch, bye. Just make your bed. It's too bad. Just lay in your bed because, bitch, you done made it already. You done made it. Go ahead and lie in it and do what you need to do. Get your freak on, whatever the fuck you going to do in that bed. Just realize that is your bed. He is now your problem. That's your fault. Don't try to kill him off.
I'm sorry, I'm 100% with you, but I don't even want to go down the road. I just feel like they didn't want to let the two of them go, and so they decided to write a storyline, and that's the way it's coming across.
I felt so happy, Jesus, when I saw that they didn't come back to that story, because I didn't give a fuck about the story.
I don't really care. My thing is, okay, Frank and Kyle, okay, that's a cute little name, but Frank and Kyle, that whole thing is okay, you brought him to the house, he killed somebody, you want to kill him off, you're not going to do that. So, of course, the obvious thing is they're going to have him get away and he's going to be roaming the streets. And I'm sure he's going to probably kill a few people, and then that's the storyline is, oh my gosh, she's going to have a teary mess because she's going to have to kill him. That's really all that is. Stupid storyline, let's move on.
All she's got to do is give him the pussy.
Well, she
better don't. She better don't.
Well, she better watch it first because Mama had him first
already.
Oh,
it's be more exciting than what's going on already.
Yeah, she's got to wash him first because Mama's had him already.
Y'all nasty. I'm going to bed.
That whole storyline also was very disturbing.
Yeah. I agree with that. Anyone pounding their head on the bathtub, I can't watch stuff like that. I'm like, oh.
That's just a...
Can't watch people pound their heads on the bathtub.
No, I just
on the toilet, deadly. On the toilet.
Okay, the toilet, whatever he was doing, I couldn't even watch it.
It's too much. It's too many. Once again, it's so many characters, but all of them are crazy. She crazy for thinking it's okay to create a monster. She crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if I'm the same. I'm lost. I don't know where the storyline gonna go. If they're gonna do kind of like the Frankenstein story, is she gonna be like the bride of Frankenstein? I don't know what's going on with it. I'm with you guys about this.
Yeah, I really don't have anything else to add to this conversation because you've all sort of said it. I have no idea where this is going, so I guess we'll have to see what happens next week. On to the next sort of short storyline that the episode had. We learned that Cordelia's husband is away on business. They're having a normal phone conversation. Hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm over here. Oh, oops, my meeting is here. And he hangs up on her, and his meeting turns out to be this beautiful redhead. Her name is Kaylee. She's played by another American Horror Story regular, Alexander Breckenridge, who she played the young version of the maid in...
I thought that was her.
Yes. And, they are very familiar with each other, and then they get into probably some of the roughest consensual sex that we've seen on American Horror Story. And
I thought she was going to pull out the wrap it up box. I'm not going to lie.
I don't know what that means.
It's a thing off of the Chappelle Show. And it's like music that plays like when someone needs to wrap something up. I thought that's what was going to happen because it was such a weird sex scene. Like, I thought he was choking the bitch out at first. Like, damn, I wish I was her for a second, but then like it didn't feel right afterwards.
Oh my god.
Like, did you see the way he was looking at her, and then he had the nerve to be like, "Ha!" Like, no, bitch, ha yourself, get the fuck off me. You're
Yeah,
fucking
what
crazy.
was that about?
Like, he was growling. Surprised he didn't start barking and shit. Like what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
He's
then they have an
crazy.
interesting
Have we not
conversation.
gotten to this yet? He's crazy. Everybody on this show is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay,
They-
and she's crazy. I mean, I knew that man was crazy from the first episode when he first came out, and he was like, "Oh well, but you have powers. That's how we can have." You're crazy.
yeah.
She would.
I'm not going to my other half and say, "Oh, let's draw a line with what was that, gasoline and have fire, and then let's fuck." That ain't happening. That's not
Yeah.
happening. So if you're doing all that with snakes crawling around, you're crazy. So I'm not surprised that he was banging her like that was the last bang he was ever going to have.
It really was. And then they have a weird conversation. She goes on to talk about how she loves Halloween because it gives people the permission to be who they really want to be. And then she asks him, "Who were you last year?" And he said, "Me. I was a monster." And yeah, that was kind of bizarre. And then they have this weird conversation about buying sushi and vending machine. I had no idea what that was about. And then she fixes some cup of noodles that she got from a vending machine.
And a burrito. And a burrito.
And a burrito.
Don't
Shout out
forget
to the
about that
burrito. And then she
Dollars.
goes on to say how she's developing feelings for him, how apparently he works for the FDA, or he's an agent, but he's not an agent, he's this and that. And then as she sort of is confessing that she's fallen in love with him, he whips out a silencer, and bam, she's dead.
He straight up, he golden-eyed that bitch. Like, he golden-eyed that bitch. And it's funny because that's how, like, you know what, this dude is so badass, he don't need no side chicks. Like, as soon as he found out, like, he could even get a whiff that there's a possibility of a side chick, he was like, nope, never in your life, nuh-uh, because this ain't happening.
Yeah, I think he's a serial killer.
The fact that he said he was a monster, I think you are right, because
I think he's a serial killer. And
Oh, we got Dexter. Dexter in the house.
unless
No,
he meant by, like, I'm a monster, by the way he was fucking her, I'm sorry,
No.
by the way he was hunching, and he
Yes,
does that
yeah,
every
there you go.
Halloween, then yeah, you're a monster, because I don't even see, she should have brought the wrap-up box, I'm telling you, he should have wrapped it up. Wrap it up.
Yeah, that was hunching
yeah,
with
well,
extra
the
hunch.
reality is that I think he's a serial killer. You know, if you know me on shows, I always analyze everything. I think that he's a serial killer, and there's a lot of reasons why I think he's. And I think that's why Jessica Lange doesn't like him, because evil always notices evil, and she just really despises him. So I think she knows that he's a killer. I think she knows that he's, like, you know what I mean, and she's always one step ahead of her daughter. If you notice throughout the season, she's always one step ahead.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think
That-
she
yeah.
knows what's going on with him, and she wants her daughter to kind of wake up and make some decisions, like become the witch that she's supposed to be, and she's not. So she's just kind of like, okay, girl, well, I'm gonna let you stay in there, and you'll figure it out on your own, because I don't have time. I have to jet set around the world
Ain't
and
nobody
suck
got
up
time for
people's
that.
life, right? Suck out other people's lives so I can live longer. I ain't got time for all that. You wasting my time. So I think that she knows that he's a killer, and I think that he does this all the time. And just because everybody else is crazy, he had to be crazy too.
Putting up with Cordelia's boring ass made him crazy.
Oh,
That's what I think.
yes, because Miss Fox, she is boring. She is so boring. I'm not gonna lie. I can't wait till we talk about the end of this episode because shit. Mm-mm.
That might
so
make
boring
her
to
exciting.
I like, to be honest with you, I'd rather watch paint dry than watch her. Which is, I don't understand it, because she came with such a fire. Like, her character last season, it was so fiery and so powerful. And I couldn't wait to see what the next thing that came out of Miss Lena Banana's mouth. And now this season, I can't wait for her to shut the fuck up and get killed off because she is so fucking boring.
Well, but I think that's also on purpose. Like, once again, remember we were talking about the straight man? She, to me, was the straight man. And the straight man normally doesn't get all the exciting.
Okay.
And so I think that's this season, that's supposed to be her. That everything happening around her. And everything's spinning out of control. So she's supposed to be kind of the boring one. She's not supposed to be the exciting one to make everybody else's character look crazy.
Yeah, she can't be doing exciting hunching.
Right.
Well, I'm just saying, like, she's just boring the shit out of me. Like, she's boring the shit out of me.
To me, I mean, I think that I think it's going to be very interesting to see where they're going to go, because we have to talk about what happened at the end. But her storyline, for me, her storyline, and of course the storyline between Jessica Lange and Angela Bassett's characters are the most interesting storylines for me right now. And that's what's kept me on the show. So, that is what it's for me. But, and the reason why is because I have a feeling that there's something about her that a lot of people don't know. There has to be a reason why what happened at the end happened. There's something about her. And one of the things somebody's told me is that American Horror Story is really good at doing that, pulling crap out at the end that you didn't expect.
Mm-hmm.
So
the shit will hit the fan
when you least expect it, from the character that you least expect it from. So that's why I can't wait to talk about my little Down syndrome girl.
Nope.
Don't worry. We're gonna get to her,
baby. That's my little bitch, honey. She can come to my house. That's my little girl.
Okay.
So.
Yes. Okay, and just to clarify things for the listeners, because we do like to use the word hunchin' on this show, the kind of sex that you saw with Cordelia's husband and Kaylee, that was hunchin' with extra hunch. So, that's an FYI.
Like, ew. Now it's like playing like a gift set in my fucking head now. Like, it was bad. It was so bad.
Yeah.
They were knocking holes in walls for real.
She had no walls after that.
But, I wish that I can't lie. I wish that I had someone that could do that for me.
Nuh-uh, not the way he was doing it. He looked like he was about to eat her. Like, that face when he...
You love that zombie love.
That could be fun.
But the face that he made during, like, it was so fucking weird. I'm going to make a GIF set of it. Someone teach me how to make a GIF. And then that's just going to be it, him making that face.
I don't even want to think about it. That's why you keep your eyes closed. That's supposed to look.
Moving right along. Let's move into now one of the bigger storylines of the episode. So let's catch back up with Fiona. So she's just killed Madison. There's Spaulding cleaning up the mess. She's talking to herself or talking aloud. She would have made a lousy Supreme. This Coven can't afford that. And then she goes to Spaulding. I've always enjoyed our talks together, especially since you lost your tongue. So then she's distracted by some noises that are happening in Cordelia's greenhouse. And she walks around, and there she discovers Queenie covered in blood. Queenie proclaims, "I couldn't stop it." And then a shadow rises behind Fiona, and minutes later, we see Fiona has set Queenie down in a bed, and Cordelia, comes in, and they two sort of, both of the witches go back and forth together. This is your fault. You went to see Marie Laveau. No, you went to see Marie Laveau. You this, you that. Fiona chastises Cordelia for going to see Marie Laveau for some half-assed fertility spell. And mid-argument, they noticed that Queenie wasn't breathing. So Fiona leaned over and basically sort of breathed life into her. She did, I guess, the reverse of what she does for herself, where she sucks people essence out. She sort of maybe gave Queenie some of her essence to sort of bring her back from the brink of death, which was interesting. I mean, it's it was
She's very protective of the other
it
witches.
was like a tender moment that we see, with Fiona, when she's usually just so like I don't know what to call it, like stern, almost rigid. It was nice to see like a bit of a tender moment with her.
But it seems like she's always been in a Queenie. I just want to put that out. I don't know if you've noticed, but of everybody, she's always been very tender with. I don't remember the girl with the Down syndrome girl's name. Nan. She's always been very tolerant of Nan. Like Nan never gets on her nerves, and she's always been very, very kind and protective of Queenie. Yeah, so I just want to put that out there.
There's nothing she hates more than a racist, she said.
Right,
exactly.
Yeah. And she made a point of letting that heifer know that she voted for Barack Obama, not once, heifer, but twice.
Exactly.
And I love the first lady too. Did she not say that? Work.
Lies. Speaking of her, Madame Lalaurie is hiding in the closet, hiding from the Minotaur, and
she was all up in that closet.
She really was.
Damn,
she was like,
she was
gone?
like,
and
I'm mad she had like flour in her shit too.
Yeah, well, she was about to make some peach cobbler. We never got
about to, but
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing because she came around. All you saw was one eye first.
She wasn't fucking around. She was scared. I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little bad for her.
I don't feel bad for that heifer. I do not feel bad for her. I can't think because all the stuff that she did to black folks, child.
So Fiona dispatches her that night, lets her know that everything's okay, and yada yada yada. Next morning, Fiona calls Madame Lalaurie to help zip her up and to sort of basically allow her to monologue for a second. She explains that Halloween is her favorite day of the year, and so Lalaurie asks her if it's the end of the harvest already. She's like, you may want me to light up the bonfires and put out food to keep the demons away. The dead shall rise and fearful pranks ensue should we fail to protect ourselves. Fiona basically told her that things aren't like that anymore. Bonfires have turned into jack-o'-lanterns, and offerings have been turned into candy. And then in a interesting sort of conversation that they had, the Madame tells Fiona that you look, and Fiona goes younger, and Lalaurie basically said, I was going to say beautiful, and then Fiona goes, well, both are correct. And then she looks at herself in the mirror and says, who's the baddest witch in town? So that was an interesting conversation between the two women, and it's always great to see Jessica and Kathy, head-to-head, toe-to-toe in a scene. So later on, we see Lalaurie with Queenie, checking in on Queenie. Queenie wakes up, and Lalaurie is apologetic, but she tells her that she can't quite find the words to express her gratitude, and Queenie's like, well, you better keep on looking. And then the amazing Nan walks in and decides to quote poltergeist, and she says, they're here. And the they is the Council of Witches. And so Cordelia goes down, and we meet the Council of Witches. One of them we've already met. Yes. One of them we've already met. That is Myrtle Snow. We saw her in the season premiere. And then we're introduced to Pembroke, who's this buttoned-up witch. And then we see Beverly Leslie, a.k.a. Quentin, who is this flamboyant author, a male witch. And
he's the gayest man in the entire world, and he is fabulous.
He is.
Period.
He's fantastic on it. He was so perfect casting for that show. Like he always plays it so well. It doesn't matter, even no matter what character plays, they also are very different. even though he brings that same kind of sassy personality to it.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Leslie Jordan, aka the man who will forever be known as Beverly Leslie. So Cordelia apparently doesn't know how to play it cool because, I mean, this was basically the conversation. She was like, I had no idea the council was going to be here. And they're like, well, we have some grave matters to talk about. Oh, do you mean the assault on Queenie? Oh, that happened last night. She's okay. Huh? And then she's like, she was attacked by something that it wasn't human. Well, we're not here about that. We're here because
she was pissing me off. She was pissing me off.
We're here for something even worse. And then Cordelia's like, oh, you mean because I went to talk to Marie Laveau? And they're like, huh? And then she's like, oh, I didn't mean to go, unsettle the truce. And then they're like, no, we're here for something else. And then thankfully, Fiona steps in and tells her daughter to shut up. And she says hello to the council. She and Myrtle have this whole shady reading type of interchange of ideas.
Francis Conroy.
Yes. And then I don't know what she does to Pembroke. She just sort of looks at Pembroke and says, hey, Pembroke. And then she gives Quentin a hug, and she lets us know that apparently she controls the New York Times bestseller list. And the council informs Fiona that they've been summoned by one of their own, and it was Nan. And Nan says that she can no longer hear Madison, and that she thinks she's dead. So the council begins an inquisition into this. Myrtle's cross-examining everyone, and Quentin is given, witty repartee, and Pembroke is just typing away.
We have to say that he actually was investigating, though. You have to say that.
Yes,
he was doing it with style, but he was, when there's certain questions and things came up, he would bore into it.
Yes, he was doing it with 2 snaps in a circle.
Yes.
And so no one really was much help. Cordelia admitted that Madison usually went out, for days on end, but that she was doing better there than at the Betty Ford Center. Zoe was just in awe of Madison's charisma. And then Queenie probably gave the best quote, and I think she was trying to audition to be like the writer of the local paper's obituary section, because she gave this quote. She was like, Madison Montgomery is a stone cold bitch who loves hard drinking, big dicks, and trouble. If she's dead, it's probably because she got wasted and offered the Grim Reaper a hand job or something.
and Quentin's eyes open up on the big dicks. I saw it.
Yep.
Well, but you can also you can tell Quentin liked Queenie because of the way he looked at the other girl. The other one just like, this is my kind of girl. Like, because of her answer was just so phenomenal. I'm just gonna put it out here right now. To me, out of everybody, Queenie is probably the next person.
You think she's the next Supreme?
I think she's the next Supreme.
So she's Diana Ross.
Well, the reason why I'm saying that, is because everybody's thinking it's the Frankenweenie girl.
No, I think it's Nan. It's Nan.
Nan is my second choice too. Nan's my second choice too.
You don't think it's Stevie Nicks in the swamp?
Hell no.
You know what? And the reason why it probably could be Nan, though, is because she was in the room when the curtains went up. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
uh-huh.
Remember? She was in the room, and it's made to look like, what's the girl? Madison did it?
Though. But she did because she
lit
Fiona's secret. But the only thing I'm going to say,
but maybe Nan was around the corner. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Nan is always around when you least expect her.
Nan be getting on my damn nerves because she
owns that bitch.
She's gonna get some dick. Like I said last time, Nan is getting dick. Okay, she gets hella laid. Okay, just for the simple fact. Let's talk about the fact that she thinks this bitch is so damn slick, and she thinks she's so damn slick. I got your number, Nan. Nan is probably going to be an evil character. It's funny because everyone thinks that she means well because she's mentally handicapped. But I know she can read that. I know she can read Fiona's mind. The fact that she summoned the council, talk about, I can't think anymore. I think she's dead. Bitch, boo, bye. You know damn well Fiona killed that girl and you was trying to get her in trouble. Period. And the way that she said it, the way that her face changed when that lady asked, is there anybody else who knew about this? Nan's face got really weird. It looked really weird. And then she was like the next door neighbor. Like, she thinks she's slick. I got you, Nan. I got you. You bacon son of a bitch. I got you.
Good Lord.
Oh.
Excuse me. Well, you know what? You guys, you need to leave my Nan alone. And the reason why is because Fiona needs to die. This bitch is cutting other people's throats.
Oh no, Fee is everything. Constance is everything. As long as they keep Jessica Lange as a character that isn't going to be killed off, and they keep her on for every single episode, I'm happy. That bitch get tap dance on somebody's grave in blackface. I don't know about the blackface.
Oh no, she did not say him blackface.
What?
I didn't know about the blackface. I had to think about it. I had to take that back. But she be doing
Take that back.
she be doing something super crazy. But it's something about her character that's just like, girl, you serving. You're full of life. You're fierce, and you got some witty combats. I personally think it's Nan.
She's dying. She has cancer.
We don't know that yet.
No, yes, we do. They said it.
Well, no, I mean, like, what I mean is, like, we don't know if she's gonna, like, die. Like, we don't, for all we know, it could just be something that's going on. Who knows? All I know is just she's for real dying of cancer. She's the most fabulous looking person that has ever died from cancer, because the bitch dresses up in Chanel and she works it as if she's not dying. That's why we live for Fiona Good.
I don't know. I was like,
that.
Well, continuing on with the storyline, so they're doing this Inquisition, and they get to Nan, who was much more helpful than everyone else, even though Queenie was helpful in her own special way. She tells the council that Madison had pyrokinetic powers, and that someone else knew about it too. So we go back to basically the council questioning Fiona and Cordelia, and we get a whole bunch of flashbacks. We start off with this extended flashback that they sort of split it up in two parts, so I'm just gonna read it or say it in like the way that it really progressed. We flash back to the night when Anna Lee, the Supreme prior to Fiona, the night that she passed, when Fiona slashed her throat. And we see that Fiona is being questioned by a different council, which it was kind of like a mirror image of the current council. There was like the red-headed one in the middle, we had like a button-up one, and we had a flamboyant man. So I guess they stereotype their councils. They if one dies up, they're like, find another redhead. So yeah, she's getting questioned, and she references that the last time that she saw Anna Lee, that she was off with a peace offering of wine, and so they all assumed that it was in regards to the peace offering, the truce that she had done with the voodoo witches. And then she's informed that she would be the new Supreme, that she had been sort of selected as the new Supreme. So there's this big announcement in front of the entire Coven that Fiona would be the new Supreme. And Myrtle Snow, a young Myrtle Snow, is there, and she's like, I am, this of that. I know when people are lying, and she is lying, and she's out to prove it. So later on that night, she does a spell that enchanted Spaulding's tongue and would only allow him to tell the truth. He can't lie under this spell. She decides to blurt this out in the middle of dinner when just anyone can listen, and of course Spaulding overheard, and he summons Fiona, and he tells her that this is the last thing I'm ever going to say, that I've always loved you, since the day I saw you. And then he picks up a blade and chops his tongue off. And
crazy.
Yes. And Myrtle and Fiona exchange sort of knowing looks, and then we're propelled into the present, and Myrtle is accusing Fiona of killing Madison because she's done it before, and she summons Spaulding, and she asks Spaulding to write on a sheet of paper whose fault it is, or who is the person that cut his tongue off, and he writes Myrtle Snow, and Myrtle has this titty fit, and she starts yelling, and she's not too happy about that. Cordelia comes to the defense of her mother, and she basically states that there's no way that Madison could have been the Supreme because a Supreme is in pure health, and Madison had a heart murmur, so that would disqualify her. And if you could have seen the face that Fiona made, it was almost like, oh shit, I gotta go kill another one. So yeah, so that was an interesting revelation. And afterwards, the mother and daughter duo go out into the town to celebrate, and they start getting sloshed, and Cordelia cannot hold her liquor, so she goes to the bathroom, starts upchucking. Once she gets out of the bathroom, she starts to clean her face because nobody wants a little drool of vomit when you're out on the town. And out of one of the stalls, a mysterious figure dressed in black comes out with a beaker-looking thing. Maybe, yeah, it was like a beaker-looking thing with clear liquid, and they throw it into Cordelia's face, and she starts screaming out in pain. What did everyone think of this storyline? What did everyone think?
Well, y'all know how I feel about Miss Fox, but I don't know, I felt bad. It's just for the fact that she was actually...
Are you sure it wasn't you that threw it on her?
I know, I'm not that dirty, because I thought it was urine at first. I didn't think it was, acid.
Oh my god.
It was just like, for real, it was only that much, like, that little liquid. And then when I realized it was acid, I felt bad. So it was just like, damn, right when she was showing some personality, she was starting to live, and I wasn't coming around, but I was seeing a little bit of life. I felt like they kind of robbed us of that, like the viewers, and kind of took it away. And now it's just like, tragedy. After you saw that she can have fun. Now we're going to throw something that looks like urine, but is actually acid in her face. I didn't like it. I felt really bad.
Yeah, I don't like Cordelia, but just someone throwing something on their face. And right, Spalding is my man, though. I mean, anyone that'll chop off their tongue like that just to show his love for Fiona. I think Cat's Meow might cut out her meow for Fiona.
Girl,
the other person.
You too much.
What's her meow? Her clit?
I know, like,
what?
Yeah,
where did the clips come from? What the hell?
And the council, we need more council. I just hope that council comes back, because Quentin, the girl with the glasses, the whole council.
Francis Conroy.
Yeah, they were just giving me life. That I love that council. So they must return. And Nan, I was a Nan fan till this episode.
Why?
I don't. Nan just was. I'm not feeling how she's
sneaky.
doing some backhanded, sneaky things. Exactly. It was just sneaky.
She just seems really sneaky, and it doesn't seem like Nan at all.
No, I'm like, Nan ain't right.
She's she's all jacked up because of the Christian peen.
Well,
that could be it.
But I
She's
think
discombobulated.
I think that's so unfair. Everybody, she's doing the exact same thing in that case that Fiona did. She's doing the exact same thing. She's manipulating. No.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from, but from
hold on,
Fiona. Okay.
Because the reality is, the only reason why people are liking Fiona is because she's wearing Gucci and Prada. Fiona did the exact same thing.
It's not Nan's fault that she has to wear Old Navy.
Well, no, it has nothing to do with the fact that she dresses in Prada and Gucci.
Not only that, but everybody talks about, she has all this style. To me, she don't have all that style. She got all that style from the black folks in New Orleans. That's why she got the style. She ain't got no style on her own, just like she stole their magic. So let's be very clear. Everything that was about these white folks in this show, these witches, they stole, as Marie explained, from the slaves.
Kaboom.
They didn't get that on their own. Nothing about her that I like, but the thing is that even if Nan is being manipulative and sneaky, and it's all about Eve. Bitch, you did it first. And
Okay.
now you got somebody come along.
Well,
and
we get
beating-
that. It's not the fact that we're not hating on Nan, not because like Book Whoop, she dresses in Target. Like that's not the deal.
It's not Target, it's Target.
It's
Get
I'm
it
sorry,
right.
Tarjay. It's the fact that that's how they presented Fiona's character. That's how they presented her as this this sneaky, conniving, manipulative person. That's how they That's how they put her in this TV show. That's her character. It's the fact that that's not how they presented Nan, and that's how it's bothering me a little bit.
Yeah,
And
but that's not because we never got to know Nan.
well, let me finish.
Okay, sorry, baby.
Ooh.
I understand what you're saying, and it's equal both ways, and it shouldn't be like, oh, we favor Fiona because of this, that, and the other. It's just a little bit. It's hard to kind of swallow when you're seeing her being so sweet and so friendly, and and so like, hey, my name is Nan. Like, what's going on? To kind of like, there's a possibility she could be this evil character, and that kind of messes with me a little bit, But I don't know why. I just think because she's so adorable, and just because I don't know, I can't see someone such as herself, like a mentally handicapped person, being this way.
Right, but let me tell you, I have a cousin that has Down syndrome. Her name is Teresa. Teresa right now, the reason why she was written up in Black Enterprise is because she has Down syndrome. Bitch is fierce when it comes to business.
Oh.
She will cut your throat when it comes to business. And she looks
Hopefully not
like
literally.
Nan. She looks just like Nan, honey. So she looks all sweet and very innocent, and she's just like, and then all of a sudden you put her in a boardroom, and the white boys are like, okay, get this crazy bitch out of here. Because she's no joke. So I think that when people think of Down syndrome, they don't realize there's different levels. And what's so great about Nan's character and what I love about the show is they're showing you that you're the ones that are sleeping on them. You sleeping on them. You're sleeping on them. They have great processes. They can think it's a new day, a new age. This is not the Down syndrome children from the.
But Fiona's not sleeping on her because read that first episode. She let everyone know that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No. Let's be clear. No, she didn't. She let two of the characters know.
Well, she let all them girls know.
Yeah, she let all the girls know. She was like, she is, a bit smarter than the rest of you guys. Like, don't let her appearance fool you.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, but even Fiona is still sleeping on her because she decided to go after Madison, and I think the reason why she went after Madison is because Madison has blonde hair and she has a bad attitude. And Madison,
I don't think it was that at all. I think it was the fact that she could sense how powerful Madison was. It has nothing to do with Madison's appearance. She could sense how powerful she was, and she knew that it was Madison that flipped the bus. She knows that Madison has this great power, and especially when she found out about the fire and that Madison didn't even know that she could do it until then. That's something was just like, oh shit, this bitch is the next Supreme. I can feel her power, and I can see that she's getting more, and they're kind of just popping up on her. That's what made her go after her. If it was Queenie, and Queenie was doing that, she would have went after Queenie. It was just the fact that she could really sense Madison's power. So it had nothing to do with what she looked like,
I think it's a little bit different. I think it's more. I mean, the way that I'm seeing the show, I hear what you're saying, but the way that I'm seeing the show is, I think it's very, very different. I really think that it's by, evil people hate people that look and remind them of themselves.
Okay, I see where you come. I never thought about it that way.
Because if you look at Madison literally was acting exactly like Fiona when she was younger. And so when you're thinking that, and then I think you're right about the fact that all of a sudden these powers started popping up. Yes, most definitely.
Now I'm indifferent because now you're putting new ideas in my head, and I'm just like, damn, I never thought about it. Maybe it is the way that she looked at. Maybe Madison was a little mini Fiona.
Exactly, and that makes her. I think that's what made her the target. And then, of course, but I think that's where Nan comes in because don't forget who told her about the curtains.
Okay.
Nan told her about the curtains.
I'm tired of you. I'm going to bed.
I know, child. But Nan. So I mean, now that you're thinking about it, you guys changed my mind. Queenie may not be. It may actually be Nan. It may actually be her because
if
you
it's
look
Nan,
at
I'm a shit a brick. If it's Nan, I'm going to shit a brick.
But They love throwing things out there like that so that people can be very confused. And I think it'll also, even though Fiona may have said, "Oh, watch her, don't be by her," the reality is that Fiona has yet to realize that she just killed this girl, and evidently this girl can read her mind. She's never shut off her mind. So even Fiona has not taken that into consideration.
Okay.
She's too busy she was too busy focusing on Madison. She's
okay.
So I agree with you guys in the beginning. I think you're right. I think it may actually be Nan. In other words, I don't think we will all be shocked at the end of the series.
So, now that we've gotten that out the way, is no one going to talk about the aftermath of Minotaur sex?
Okay, wait, so he did rape her?
I don't know. She had
a big bloody, yeah. Unless he was having sex with her belly button. I didn't understand what exactly happened between Queenie and the Minotaur, but I think that she may go into that because they kind of just left it open. Like, she was laying on the floor and she was like, he hurt me really badly, and then all of a sudden he was like rising up like the Terminator from the fucking like mist, and then that was it.
What if she has a Minotaur baby?
I'm over it. I'll just turn off the TV. I won't even watch it no more. I was like, it'll be such a weird, like, fucked up part to put in the TV show. I'll probably just block FX from my TV completely.
Well,
I'll just be like, no FX anymore. Bye.
Well, I don't think that it's interesting because I don't understand, like, he rose out of the mist and then his head was cut off. And I'm a little bitter about that because the reality is that she's protecting Marie, who started this whole thing to begin with. She's protecting her. Queenie went out to protect her. All these witches are protecting somebody that doesn't deserve to be protected. Now, as a black man, I love the fact that Gabby Sidibe is playing this character. But also, as a black man, I want to smack the shit out of Gabby Sidibe for going outside to begin with to protect this fat bitch.
Well, I don't think she necessarily was doing that to protect him. I thought she did it because she's horny.
No,
I think it's because she was luring him away. But I personally think, like, I know who Madame
People call me a beast.
is. Yeah, I know who she is, and it's really fucked up that a lot of people don't know that she's an actual person, that she really did these things. But it's one of those things, like, maybe that was her way of being like, hey, even though you are, like, fucked up in the head and you really need some help, and, like, I'm still not completely forgiven about you calling me a slave girl, I'm kind of, you know what, I'm going to try to bury the hatchet best as I can right now and kind of show you, like, hey, it's a new day, bitch. And if you call me slave again, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you, but I'm gonna show you what I can do as kindness. I can show you that I can turn the other cheek right now. But I can see what you mean, because I was torn. I was like, why are you covering up for this bitch? Let him get her. And the other half was like, you know, maybe that was her way of trying to, like, show her, like, hey, you know, we're people, you know, even though you're a fucked up person.
When are we going to talk about Angela Bassett's, like, 3-4 dudes? That's what I want.
So we're going to talk about that actually right now.
Okay.
So, 3 or 4 dudes. What 3 or 4 dudes?
Dudes, hair dudes.
Oh yes, honey. She was wearing some styles last night.
She was putting on. Okay.
So we start off the episode at the very beginning with the flashback to 1961, and we see a young African American boy. He's sort of, you know, he's doing what young kids do. I mean, he's riding his bicycle home from school, and he's being chased down the road by 3 white men, and no. 3 white fucking racists. Don't call them men, because they're not men. Yes.
So yeah.
And so he gets off on foot, and he's cornered by the racists. And then we flash cut to Cornrow City, although we don't know. I don't think it would be called Cornrow City.
It probably could still be called Cornrow City.
Yeah, it was. Isn't it that
in the 60s?
Ward? It's the 9th Ward, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't think they had control. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, since it is in the 9th Ward, everybody in that area know what the fuck a cornrow is. It's not like it's like in the whitest part of the city, and it's like cornrow. What is a cornrow? What
Yes.
is that? What is a cornrow? Like, I think
Well, I
it
don't
was.
think they spoke with a British accent in the United
Well, I'm
States
just saying,
in the 1960s.
you know how some white people can be. They be playing dumb on purpose.
Exactly.
Talking about, what is a cornrow? Bitch, you know what a plait is. Don't fuck with me. And don't ask, can you touch my hair either? Because I will be touching my fist with your face, dumb
Oh.
bitch.
Ooh.
Damn. Okay.
There you
It's
go.
all right,
So
girl.
we're
You can have my
inside
number.
of
I'm a
Cornrow
therapist.
City.
You can talk to me later.
Yes.
So it's okay. We can work these things out. Okay, moving on.
So we're inside of Cornrow City, and a young mother is sort of proudly noting that her son had just started attending a newly integrated school. Marie warns her that she's taken a big chance, but especially since the White Citizens Council of New Orleans was spreading rumors about Congolese raping white daughters and this, that, or the other. But the mother was resilient, and she was like, President Kennedy's in the White House. She said that she had faith in the future. And then we cut to a faraway shot of her son swaying from a noose. They bring the child down, and Marie is sort of looking on from afar, sort of knowing that this was coming. And but that didn't mean that she wasn't going
pissed
to do anything to put a stop to it. So Marie engages in an elaborate ritual. There's percussion, there's snakes, there's beads, there's fire. She's drinking the fire. And elsewhere in New Orleans, the three racists are sort of chatting about, job well done. And in a cemetery, we see hands punching out from the graves, and a group of vengeful undead came knocking on their door. I don't know, I guess they're in a barn or something. And they go to town on these men. They dislimb, bite into them. They
fucked up their lives.
They go crazy. I mean, it was very ironic that one of the undead looked like he was like some sort of Confederate soldier, and he rammed his bayonet inside one of the men. And there was definitely the most supernatural form of justice that we've seen. We flash back to the 1970s, and we see Anna Lee and the Supreme before Fiona, and she brokers a deal with Marie Laveau. It turns out Marie was the one who approached the White Witches with a truce, and that's sort of the origin of the truce. So the truce has been going on for 40 years. So back in the present day at Marie's salon, Ms. Laveau, Queen Laveau, is preparing a woman who's going to be attending a annual Halloween fiesta at the
young
mayor's
man's
house.
mother. The young man's mother. It was the exact same woman.
Oh, that was her?
That was the exact same woman. That's why she did it for free.
Oh,
if you noticed, she told the woman, you've been coming here for years, put your money back in your purse.
Interesting. See, I didn't see that correlation.
Mm-hmm. It's the same woman. If you notice, they say her name in the beginning, and then later on, she calls her the same name in the end.
I didn't catch that.
Wow.
I didn't
catch that either.
It's the same woman.
Very interesting. So
that's why I would propose that this would happen the way it did.
Yeah. Absolutely. So Marie gets a package in the mail, and we're going to assume that the postage must have cost a fortune because, I mean, I don't know how much they charge for a head in a box, but
it was
Spalding.
It was Spalding. Spalding dropped it off.
Because she said she was like some freak, like just dropped it off and left.
It didn't speak at all.
Yeah,
see,
and
I missed that.
I was like,
I missed that too. We missing things, Poppy. I need to go watch that show again.
Spalding.
So Spalding drops off a baggage, and they open it up. We hear a yell. Marie goes over and look, and it's Bastien, the Minotaur, whose head is in the box. Although the head blinked. So does that mean
the mouth was still moving? It was really fucking weird. Like the eyes was like they blinked and his mouth was still moving.
Yeah, so
and
does that mean that she can sort of bring him back?
He's enchanted. Yeah, he's enchanted.
Yeah.
Because
I can pass on that.
But don't forget that he drank the same potion to live forever, but he's enchanted.
Mm-hmm. That's
true. So the reason why he has the Minotaur's head was a part of the enchantment.
That's
If you
cool.
go and read the old story of Bastion and the old Voodoo Chronicles, that's what happened.
Oh, okay,
wow.
interesting.
Well, you just dropping knowledge. You dropping knowledge
I
left and
know.
right.
Well, my great grandmother was an old voodoo priestess. As a matter of fact, she cursed the white family that kept us enslaved, and now we own all of the land in Louisiana and Texas.
Yes, God. Yes, God. God is real. Yes.
No, honey, the devil is real. That's why we don't worship with her no more. We'd be like, okay, great grandma, thank you, baby, but we ain't doing all that no more. She was cursing people and cursing children and
Ooh.
cursing. She told the mayor of the city of Waco that killed her brother that he would die a painful death and his head was severed from his head slowly.
Oh my goodness.
So I don't mess with her. I love grandma. God know I do, but great grandma, I don't mess with her. I remember her when I was a little kid. I did something wrong, and she told me if I didn't say her, she was gonna eat me, child.
Oh,
That's
Don't tell a 2-year-old that.
horrifying. That's horrifying.
And she had 2 teeth and 4 strings of hair.
I'm tired of you. Good night.
Okay, moving right along.
Maybe she's
Marie,
scared, bitch.
yes, Marie wanted vengeance, and so she retreats to her throne room and she prepares the same spell that she did in the past that we saw her. Her lieutenant or her second in command or the woman that's working with her in the store begged her.
You talking about the lady that she played the house slave in Django?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bye, Miss Cora. Bam. Like, that's all she will be known for.
Yes. So she's begging her not to go down, that road. She's reminding Marie of the old days, the bad days when blood ran through the streets. But Marie's like, it was their blood. I used it to paint my day room brick red. And, she's reminded of the truce. And so we see that flashback of the truce and where Marie was rocking that afro like nobody's business.
Honey, she was doing the 70s.
Yes,
Yes.
she was. She was giving us Foxy
Brown.
realness.
Yes.
Black power. Yes.
Exactly. And Marie was a hero because of her diplomacy, because she made peace. But in the present, Marie's not feeling diplomatic, and she's like, the truce is over. Either you're with me or against me. And so Marie...
And if you're against me, you better make sure you stay out of my way, honey. Say the whole line.
Exactly.
Give the diva credit, honey.
And so Marie does the exact same spell, and she starts to bring back the dead. Over at Miss Robichaux's, we see them all. Halloween, Madame Lalaurie is giving out candy and eating some of the candy herself. And we see the neighbor boy, Luke, come over, not for Madison, as Nan had questioned, but for Nan, giving her some cookies as a way to thank her for the delicious cake that she made him. And then we get another knock on the door. We think it's some more trick-or-treaters, but no, it's actually Madame Lalaurie's daughters, including the one that liked the boudoir. And they're there in their undead glory. So she drops the candy, shuts the door. The 3 girls, Zoe, Queenie, and Nan, had already discussed that Fiona told them to stay in Miss Robichaux's, to not leave. And then we see that the Walking Dead is approaching Miss Robichaux's. So, yeah, and that's where the episode ended. So what did everyone think of this storyline, and do you think witches know how to fight off zombies that can dismember people with ease?
Well, I think Fiona may know, but Fiona's not there. Fiona may know. She may have the power to fight them off, but she's not there. Right now, the only people that are there are actually the kids. And Spalding. What he gonna do? Gnaw him to death? He ain't gonna do nothing. So, right now, I am excited about seeing what's gonna happen next week, because this was a great setup. And, I knew it was the dead people that were doing that, I have to admit. The way they was knocking, they were not knocking like children. They were banging on the door the same way they were banging on the door at the beginning of the show. So but I'm gonna tell you, child. I'll admit, this is the first time in the show series so far that I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling no dead people rising from the grave. I'm not people meeting people at the door. So that's why I think I was confused, because the majority of the time I had the pillow in front of my face.
Mm-hmm. So you were cool with the incest and the bestiality, but once zombies came into the picture, that was freaking you out?
I don't do nothing with dead people. Listen, with what I do for a living, you talk about incest all the time, so none of that stuff shocks me. But when you talk about dead people coming out the grave, the place that they supposed to be asleep, and they decide to come and visit you, it's like, bitch, you had your time. You need to go back to sleep. Leave me the hell alone. So I don't like dead people, and they looked a hot mess. And so I'm a little, I'm excited about what's gonna happen next week. And I feel sorry for the little Christian boy. He's gonna be really messed up by the end of this. I'm serious. Serious. I'm being very honest. Because every time you look
definitely a very important character in here, and I really like I like what kind of just essence and that she gives to the TV show. And it's I'm not gonna lie, it's nice to see a woman of color in the TV show, because the last 2 seasons there wasn't any person of color as a main character whatsoever. So, I mean, if they do kill her off, I'll be kind of upset, because voodoo is a big part of New Orleans,
Exactly. And then also, once again, you're once again saying that the old white woman is stronger and better than the black woman. I can't have that. I can't have that. And also, I'm tired of the black folks always being the peacemakers. I'm being honest. I'm tired of that. Every time you see a TV show, we the peacemakers. Fuck that, bitch. You done killed all these black people all these years, and we supposed to be the peacemakers? Now you.
I do like how the show's bringing up all these race stuff and just showing that it's still just as things haven't really, although it's better, it's just not completely better. It's just kind of masked in these times, and this whole show's just bringing all kinds of things to the surface. And I do like the director or the producer. What is his name? Ryan.
Yeah,
whatever.
Ryan.
Yeah,
Ryan.
Because he never
Ryan
shies
Murphy.
away from things. I love that Ryan. That he doesn't shy away from things. In whatever program he does in Glee, he's the first to do things, and in this show, he just tackles subjects that other shows are afraid to tackle, from incest to now this whole race thing, and yeah. So I think it's going to be interesting next week to see what goes on, and I think Madam Kathy Bates is going to play a big part next week. I think she's gonna settle these zombies down. Watch.
She is. I mean,
What?
I definitely
with,
like the
peach
one thing.
cobbler?
No, shut up. I
And
mean,
cobwebs in her cooch?
I'm not gonna lie. As far Ryan Murphy really knows how to tap into everyone's version of what is scary as hell to them and what makes them uncomfortable. Because the way that the episode started, and I knew something was going to be going on, and it's hard. I'm very upfront when it comes to Black history, and I like the fact that he didn't sugarcoat things. And just the fact that you're Black and you're going to an all-white school, right there, you're going to get lynched easily. And another thing that they kind of pointed out is just, I could really feel the fear of the kid that was, riding the bicycle and trying to get away and, hitting a dead end. And it honestly, I saw maybe a light, they were paying some type of homage to Medgar Evers at first when I first saw it, because I was just like, Lord, if this Black guy or this Black child has been, accused of whistling at a white woman, I'm probably gonna just roll out of my couch and turn off the TV, because I like that story in itself. It definitely broke my heart to know that this mom, she had so much faith in these people, and she was looking to have her pride and joy snatched away from her, when she had so much hope. It definitely, it made me feel so uncomfortable. It made my heart hurt. It made it kind of just hit me hard,
It's interesting how stories like that hit us hard, but I don't know, honestly, if most of white America really even gives a damn.
It's one of those things, like, because my fiance is white, and he's like, to be honest with you, some white people are understanding and they truly know what's going on, and they don't try to sugarcoat it, such as Joe. He doesn't. If he has a question, he'll ask, but he doesn't act like like it never happened. And he's very aware of these things. Some people, they're aware, but they just don't care. They don't care. They know that this happened, but they feel like it was years ago. They should just forget about it. But it's something that you're surrounded with every day. When you turn on the TV, when you go to your, to a grocery store, when you look in the news, you're always going to see something like that, because it's a part of our culture. It's a part of who we are.
Yeah, and you know what? And there's even some young black kids that don't get it. I mean, I've seen them. They just don't get it.
They get it, but they want to play off. They want to be the, they don't want to be the angry black person. They think that if you acknowledge these things, that you become that angry black person, when that's not even the tea. That's not the truth. The fact is that don't put your history aside and what brought you here today to make it a joke. I see a lot of young black kids making as if, oh, it's okay, I'm not one of those black people, or slavery was so long ago, or I'll let my white friends say the N-word, or oh my goodness, it's one of those things. They want to pretend that doesn't affect them, when it does. It's going to affect my kids, their kids on down, 30 years from now. It's always going to affect them. And like I said, I feel like people, they know, but they don't care. And some people don't plan to care. And to me, like, that's the fucked up situation about it. People know that kids have gotten lynched in the 50s, and people are, kids are still getting tormented on the fact of their race and whatever is going on. Some people, they just rather ignore it. I think that's my horror story. People that choose to be ignorant because they don't want to admit. That's my horror story.
I agree.
I love me some cats meow.
That was
I can't say nothing after that. I think you said it all. Cats meow.
Yeah, so let's move into some spoilers then, because I think we've covered every storyline that happened. We're definitely, I think all of us are looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in part 2. So, spoilers. There weren't that many spoilers released, but listeners, if you don't want to hear any spoilers, turn your volume down low, because it's officially a spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Ryan Murphy has been doing these interviews with Entertainment Weekly, and they're posted after every new episode. And with this episode, Ryan Murphy did another one, and he gave a little bit of scoops. Ryan Murphy is very chatty, so he loves to give away spoilers. Not too in-depth spoilers, but at least a little insight into what's coming into the future. So, this is what he told Entertainment Weekly. So he was asked about the council, and one of the questions was, so there are male witches in this coven? And he goes to say, yes, there are male witches who are descendants of Salem, and then there are other sects we get into later in the series of male witches that are not of the Salem tribe, but other breeds of witches, not necessarily warlocks. He's also asked about the council, if they're going to keep reappearing this season, and he says they reappear a lot. They appear to protect the coven or to persecute those within the coven who try and hurt the coven. So with Fiona back at the helm and really out for her own interests, they show up a lot. And they also ask about Madison. Is Madison just going to be seen propped up drinking tea? He goes on to say, yes, she's dead, doing granny tea. He laughs, and then he says, well, last week after Emma was killed, Emma Roberts, the actress that plays Madison, I noticed through my Twitter feed that there was a lot of outrage over the death of Madison. I was just thinking, well, keep watching because she's dead but not gone. What Spalding puts her through in the next couple of episodes is quite remarkable. And so they ask, can you tease what that entails? And he goes, no, but it's the most shocking thing we've ever done on the show. And that happened truly by accident. I thought it was a real bizarre our Grand Guignol series of scenes, but they're just very sick and twisted and oddly funny. So he's asked about Hank, what the deal with him is, if he's an assassin, and he goes on to say, yes, you can say that, but that's all I want to say. We really get into who he is and why he's doing these things. I'm not going to say too much because we will reveal it around episode 7. And then he goes on to be asked, you teased before that Sarah has the most horrible thing happen to her, Sarah Paulson, who plays Cordelia, and she had acid thrown in her eyes. Was that one of Marie's minions? And he responds by saying, I'm not going to say who it is, but that's all revealed. The big question is, who is out to get these witches? There are many, many suspects. It all ties together with the Hank thing. It's a big to-do we have coming up, and that we're going to find out the extent of her injuries, and that's going to be addressed, especially will she ever be able to see again. So it was a really interesting interview. We posted it on our like page, so if you want to read a whole lot more about what one of the co-creators had to say about this episode, definitely check it out. So is everyone excited about the next couple of episodes?
As long as they don't kill Marie, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where Nan is going. Yeah, I want to see where Nan is going.
Into
Nan is
bed.
going to get some dick. Nan is going to get some dick. I'm telling y'all, she going to get some dick.
And Council better be back, too. I got to see more of Council.
I know, right? I agree with Deadly. I am living for Ronald McDonald's sister. I'm living for her.
Frances Conroy. Yeah, Frances Conroy is an amazing actress. She's amazing.
I really enjoy her. Just her facial expressions. Actually, I just like her face. But
right.
that red wig, though. That red wig.
No, I think that's her hair, and I think they dyed it.
Jesus be offense.
Yeah, she looked a hot mess. Honey,
but it was cute. It worked for her, though. For some reason, that craziness, I think I have style, but I'm still kind of frumpy, but I'm still mad about what happened 50 years ago, or however long it was. I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying her character, but I'm excited. I want to see what the hell her crazy Cordelia's crazy-ass husband is doing.
I'm wanting to know if the council is stronger together than the Supreme, and that's why they have a council. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because she's supposed to be the strongest, so the council is supposed to be the people that protects the Coven.
Mm-hmm.
So, she's not afraid. At the same time, is the council created to be stronger together as a group?
Yeah. So are the Pips stronger than Gladys Knight?
Exactly.
Shut up.
You don't like the Pips analogy? No,
because when you put it that way, please, the Pips couldn't even hold the candle to next.
But they're working out in the background dancing, and she's just.
But I'm just saying,
front.
but Gladys Knight, she don't need the Pips. So, but. And the same thing that Marshall is wondering, though, are they stronger altogether? Are they going to create some Transformer Morty, just fucking Power Ranger super suit of
when our
of witches
combine?
Well, I know that
bullshit.
Well, I know that in most witch novels and witch stories, what makes the Coven Council so strong is that to be a witch, when you finally are inducted into the witch whatever, you make a pledge, and it's a death pledge that if you were to break any of the laws or try to harm the council members, you basically forfeit your death. It's a curse. You forfeit yourself. So I'm wondering if that's what's going to play into this story, the fact that she still has to humble herself, because for her to get all her powers, for her to be a witch, really, she had to be accepted by the Coven.
Okay.
If you think about it, homegirl that's out there in the trees, out there that's got the alligators eating people, she's not as strong as
Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, she's strong because she has the power of regeneration, but she's not as strong as she could be if she
Okay.
was in a coven. In a coven, that's why they couldn't kill her, because her whole power is regeneration. Everything
And
about
she's
her is
nutsy
regeneration.
cuckoo.
And she's crazy. So even though they set her on fire, she still came back.
I kind of
Notice-
hope that her character does come back, though, because I haven't gotten enough of her twirling ass.
Twirl, twirl.
Don't forget,
gone
she's
with the
actually
wind,
supposed to be a
fabulous.
part of this coven. They all think she's dead.
She's gone with the wind, fabulous.
You know,
So
okay,
twirl,
I got you.
twirl, twirl.
You know, remember how they said that they had lost her because they didn't get to her quick enough?
Mm-hmm.
She's already supposed to be in this coven. This is her coven. She's just not there with them because everybody thinks she's dead except for, Frankenfurter girl.
Yeah.
I'm so done with you, Marshall.
Well, it's because she's too busy twirling. It's not like she has a chance to go out and meet people.
Right.
You can always tune in for a brand new episode of Are You Afraid Coven every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Brand new time, y'all. Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can sit down here on PoppyChuloRadio.com and listen to us talk about the previous episode of American Horror Story Coven as you get ready to watch the new installment of American Horror Story Coven. Remember, we're going to have a brand new episode of Are You Afraid Coven anytime there is a new episode of American Horror Story Coven. Feel free to like our like page on Facebook. You can do that by going to facebook.com/the letters PCR and the words Are You Afraid. So that's facebook.com/PCR Are You Afraid? You'll be able to see all the scoops that we chat about, reviews of the episodes, recaps, as well as images from upcoming episodes. So definitely check out the like page. And if you also want to see what the actor that plays the Minotaur looks like, go to the like page and have a peek. Please also like Poppy Chulo Radio.
He's so hot.
He's very cute.
You can also like Poppy Chulo Radio on Facebook by going to facebook.com/Poppy Chulo Radio. If you have any questions, suggestions, comments, or concerns, you can email us at contact@poppychuloradio.com. So, my fellow Covenites, can you please wish the listeners a great night, a great evening?
Happy
Good night.
hunting.
Good night.
My tea is ready. I gotta go.
You're nasty. I'm over you. I can't trust you.
Oh my God. Good night.
Good night.
Listeners, thank you so much for joining us
Good
tonight.
night.
And make sure you're
Got
ready
me on this
for
crazy ass show.
Yes. Make sure you're ready for a brand new episode of Are You Afraid Coven next week. And don't forget to bring some tea. Good night.